Hello everybody and welcome, it's me Quark, and today we're going to be talking about some things I wish I would have known whenever I first started Stardew Valley. So kind of like a tricks and tips kind of thing. So first and foremost, always read your farm descriptions. Which I think I have a modded one, but don't worry about that. So it's always good to start out with a standard farm for your first. I know it kind of sounds lame to start multiple farms, but they all have their own perks. So like river farms good for fishing, forest farms good for harvesting and foraging, or getting wood and foraging. Hilltop is good for minerals like rocks, geodes, stuff like that. And the wilderness farm is good for fighting. And then Four Corners, I believe that's a modded one, but if it's not, I do apologize. I played with mods so long I don't know what's modded or not anymore. This one's good for multiple people, and then obviously the beach farm, which is the newest one. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start with the standard one. So let's get into the rest of the stuff. So one of the best things I can always say is like right here you have your journal, which gives you tasks to do. So like greet people. Later on it'll be like you'll be greet people and then do this, do that, do the other. You don't have to do that. Like eventually you do. Like eventually you need to get, you know, if you want the star drop, you'll eventually need to get married and all that good stuff. But for now, I mean, you can always just take your time. Next thing, always check your TV. So you got fortune teller, which will give you how your luck is for the day. Whenever you have a bad luck day, it doesn't mean don't do anything. It just means you won't find as much stuff. Like let's say if you're in the mines, or if you're shaking trees, checking trash cans, stuff like that. And then you got living off the land, which gives you good tips on what to do. And then you'll also have a cooking one and a weather report. Weather report will tell you what's happening the next day. Okay, up next, and this is what you do basically as soon as you start, is always clear a spot and plant those parsnip seeds. It may not seem important, but that's basically your starting currency right there. So you got 15, so a good way to do it would just be to do a 5x5 and do it in 3 rows. And then plant them. I know I said 3 rows, I meant a square. I do apologize. And then just which I did a 4x4. Also, if it does help you, you can always go to options and turn on show tool hit location. It'll actually show you where you're going to do stuff. I've been playing so long I really don't need it, but some people might. And then just make sure to water these every day. After a few days, boom, money. And you throw them right here in this bin. Another good tip would be right here, you have all these forageables that pop up. I would always suggest picking them up. They are very, very, very important. A lot of people like them, so you can give them as gifts, or you can always use them. Like the dandelion gives you energy and health, and the daffodil, well, does nothing. It just makes a nice gift. And next, because I nearly forgot this one, because it's something I always do, so I never really think about it, but chop up 50 wood. I don't think that one works. But chop down these trees, get 50 wood. It'd be very helpful in the very beginning, just because you can craft a chest, which I need a full inventory for it. Boom. I believe it. Let me double check here. I might be wrong in the amounts, but yeah, 50 wood. Slap it down. Bam, right there. Which I usually actually put it up here, but wasn't thinking about that. And then store all of your stuffs. Some things may not seem necessary, like fiber and stone, but always save that. Yes, you can sell it. It doesn't sell for very much, and it is always important to have building materials and crafting materials like that. And also try to store at least one of every item that you get. You never know when it's going to be necessary, and I always suggest storing multiples, but one for a minimum. You can build multiple chests, you can set them down, you can change their color so you can know what's in there. So like, let's say blue for building materials, or I don't know, green for food, stuff like that. It's always good to have multiples, but like I said, one is good enough. You might get it for a request. You might have to use it for the community center later on down the line, which I will get to that one because that's a doozy in its own. And well, yeah, it never hurts to have extra. All right, so another good tip would be right here in front of Pierre's shop. There's this right here. It's a bulletin board. Oh, not that one. This one. It's so weird because they're right next to each other and there's really no indication. So right here we have our calendar, which will give us birthdays, events coming up, all that good jazz. Then over here, dang it, over here, here? Come on, man. There we go. Over here we have our help wanted board. And this is where the last tip kind of comes in handy. So a lot of times you'll get requests on here and they'll be like, bring me a 30 stone, or bring me a salmon, or bring me a diamond. And they usually pay you, I believe it's triple the amount of what you can normally sell it for. So it's a good way to make money, and it also boosts up your heart levels with them, because heart levels are unfortunately important. So the higher heart levels you get, the more events you get, and well, the more stuff you can do. Like you can go into the rooms and you can be nosy and just all that good jazz. And it's also an achievement to get heart levels maxed on everybody, and there's a lot of people. So save up those items. Check that help wanted list every day and try to get those completed. These are the only tasks that are super important to get done. Well, except for another one, but that happens way later on. You don't have to worry about that now. This is just beginners. So these are the only tasks that are super important to get done right then and there, just because they are timed. So usually you only have 2 days, and after that you fail. Another tip is check trash cans, but always make sure that nobody's around, because they don't like it. That does drop your heart level every single time they catch you, but other than that, you usually get some good stuff from trash. You can get the rare trash can hat, or you can get bread, like food. You can get all kinds of stuff from trash. So it's always good to check those trash cans, and they're just spread throughout the town. There's like 4 or 5 of them. Never hurts to check. But right down here in the bottom right hand corner of this map, now there's only one today, but you'll find spring onions, which is good, quick money. You can find multiples per day. I just have a bad luck day, so I only found one. But like I said, you can find multiples, and they're in these areas right here. Quick money, they're good food. So 13 energy, 5 health. And you can use them as gifts for people if you don't want to sell them or eat them. Alright, and up next, always be mindful of when you sleep. So right there, you just saw above my character's head, you saw little Z's, he's tired. It's 1 a.m. At 2 a.m. you pass out, and you can lose some items and some money and whatnot. So always be mindful when you go to sleep. At midnight, you'll see you're getting tired, and then at 1, you'll see those. And the downside is whenever you go to sleep that late, I understand the days are kind of short. But whenever you go to sleep that late, as you can see down here, my energy is not full. Your energy will never fill up if you go to sleep late. So after you talk to Willie, he gives you a bamboo pole. So I play on PC, so it's left click to cast, but on consoles it's A to cast. Hold it, cast. As you can tell, I've done this quite a while. And then whenever a fish bites, it's pretty simple. You just, come on. Come on, we don't want to stare at you. The beach is loud. Let's get this done. You click, and then you tap. Don't hold. Like, you can hold to get up to the fish quickly, but once you get over him, just tap. And tap fast. And that's about the easiest way to fish, is just to tap. If you let the bar drop all the way to the bottom, when like say that because all fish have their own patterns on how they swim, so if you let the bar drop all the way to the bottom trying to get to that fish, it'll bounce off the bottom, and you can lose a fish that way if your little green bar on the side, or yeah, your colored bar on the side isn't, if it's in the red, you can lose your fish. So let's say I let it drop, bounces, lost the fish. Just click, 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 tap, 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 whichever. In my opinion, fishing is one of the easiest ways to get early money other than foraging. And it's one of the quickest skills to level up, and I find fishing pretty fun in this game. There's a lot of different fish to catch. And like I said, it can be really easy money once you get the hang of it. I know some people don't get the hang of it, and it's understandable. It is kind of annoying. It's a weird mechanic, but I find it quite enjoyable. But right here is another tip. You see these little wiggling worms? These little wiggling worms, or I think they're called twigs or something like that, these are dig spots. So you navigate over to your hoe, and boop, we just dug up a dried sea star. So it's an artifact. We could take it to the local museum and find out more about it, which is stuff that you can donate to the local museum, which are artifacts and minerals, which the local museum, if you follow Penny over here to the east, you got the local museum. You can go in there, talk to Gunther. I'll go ahead and skip this because you guys can do that all yourself. Talk to him, donate to the museum, and you can just slap this wherever. Some people like to, you know, keep it fancy or whatnot. I just slap it down. Bam. We got something. And what's cool is as you donate, you can get items from him. Alright, so the community center. After, I think, the 10th day of your first month of spring, you'll go into town and you'll get a cutscene where you can go into the community center. This is kind of the, well, not just this one, but all of these little tiles. You got the stars right here. These are kind of like the main portion of the game. Like, this is what you complete to get to end game. So you have different things. You have different bundles, so like exotic foraging bundle, which are items that you can get from different areas of like the caves or different seasons, stuff off of trees, all that good jazz. I'd always suggest checking the wiki on certain things, on like where to find them and whatnot. Wiki is like a godsend for the most part. But you complete these little bundles and they do different things. Like this one repairs the bridge, which will be off to the right of the mines. This one up here, which is the pantry, which is food and stuff like that, crops, all that good jazz. This repairs the greenhouse on your farm, which if you focus on this one, you can get this done before winter of your first year, because during winter, unfortunately, you can't really do much. You can't plant crops. The only thing you can plant are wild seeds. They can be lucrative, but not really. So your greenhouse, you can grow crops all year round, and they're not regulated to their months. Let's say you can plant strawberries, which are, or like grapes, stuff like that, stuff that are repeatedly harvestable. You can plant those in there, and you can leave those in there all year long and just constantly harvest them, which is super, super helpful, super, super awesome. But yeah, so totally suggest completing that one first. But all of these give you different things. One repairs the bus to the desert, which the desert is an awesome area once you get to it. This one removes the glittering boulder. Not that important. It's for panning. This one raises friendship. This one, once you get it unlocked, I think you have to do a couple of them first. Like the one over there, the foraging one. This one repairs the mine carts, which gives you a very quick way to get around the town. And it's just different things that help out the game. Small little bits and pieces that help you out. Yeah, I said that multiple times. I'm sorry. This is all not scripted, just so you guys know. I'm kind of just going over things that I wish I would have known in the beginning, and just a couple things to help you out through your game. And that leads us into this one. This little bridge right here is not repaired. It's just broken. whenever you first start. It costs 300 wood, and once you get across it, you get these waiting ponds or something like that. I don't remember what the full term is from. But anyways, you get coral, you get different forageables you can get, and it's good money in the beginning. So 300 wood for a decent source of money isn't too bad. You can collect those every single day, and it's worth it for the most part. Last but certainly not least is buy this bag. Backpack upgrade gives you an extra row, costs 2,000 gold. And then the next one I believe is either 3,000 or 5,000 gold, which gives you your next row. And basically, what those do is it unlocks these rows right here, and it's a big help once you have them all fully unlocked. Yeah, that's about it. There's nothing else to really explain there. Just get that as soon as you can. Super helpful. But other than that, that's about the end of this video, because it's just some beginner tips that I find kind of necessary to point out, and hopefully it was helpful to you guys. This list was in no particular order. It is not scripted. The only script that I have is just bullet points, basically just a title of each of the things I went over. I don't do my stuff scripted, so there is a lot of uhs, pauses, mess ups on what I'm saying. I do apologize, but that's how I do my videos. I like them to feel more natural. If you guys like the video, make sure to like the video. If you have any suggestions for any beginners, comment them down below, because I know there's a lot of points that I probably missed. These are just some things I kind of wish I knew and whatnot. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe, because I am going to make another one for intermediate and advanced players and other tips for certain things. I am thinking about doing one for each of the romanceables, so all that good jazz, and I'll do another one for farming, and we'll discuss it in the comments if you want to chat with me. But I do thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.